Alrighty guys, so our next step is going to be mount some shocks in this thing. I don't know if you could draw a straight line from where that shock mount goes to where Jeep envisioned shocks to mount, which is a through hole using like a stem shock style. If you have a standard shock style that just has, a through bolt on the bottom and a through bolt on the top, you're gonna need to have one of these, what they call eliminators, so you can throw this big bolt through there, bolt it at the top, and then have your shock through bolt go through there. But even if you do that, let's do a straight line around two different planes. So we're gonna have to do some modifying here. In this, I already stitch welded this a little bit. Cherokee front ends are pretty thin, so the more weld connecting everything, the better. So I'm gonna do my new take on shock mounts on a Cherokee. So let's just watch and see what happens. The first step to any great fab project, if you don't have a plasma table, is to get out some cardboard. So crack open a pack of beer and rip some of that cardboard off so you can make a template. Transfer that template into some metal, and then boom, you get something like this. So this is gonna be the back plate. It's gonna have enough room behind here to get the bolt through. You can see I'm offsetting the shock mount forward a little bit. That's for a couple of reasons, but we'll see if this idea works out shortly. Alrighty, so I got my first little tab in here. So I went from cardboard. I'm using 1/8 inch 100XF. It sounds thin for a shock mount, but think about it, it's mounted or welded to a unibody. And 100XF is pretty strong material. They say it's equivalent to like 1/4 inch regular steel. So I think it's gonna work. I'm gonna make the outside plate and then figure something out for this bottom, but kind of working out with what I'm thinking. All right, so I got the first one in there welded. I have the outside one ready to go. I'm using an assortment of spacers and shims on the inside to make sure that I have the right amount of space in there so the shock slides right up. You don't want it too tight so the shock can't get in there, and you don't want it too loose to where it's sloppy and can't pinch. So I usually shoot for just a little bit over. So I'm using this shim. It's a 0.10 shim to be my my difference there. But clean it up a little bit, get the rest of this paint off, and ready to weld. Alrighty, so we got the shock in, the wheel well painted, looking nice. The reservoir is gonna go onto this, so that'll be pretty sweet. Now to work on this. Looking like, yeah, that'll work. So I'm gonna build a little double shear mount off of this to use outside of here instead of in between here, since that's a whole like 3 inches off. So now to work on that. Alrighty, so got the shocks mounted. What I did down here was recreate the same double shear they had in mind, just in the right place. Again, using 100XF 1/8 inch steel. I used a spacer at the bottom, same thing with a 0.010 inch over. Slid in perfect. We have about 3 3/4 inches of web travel. I have an aluminum bump stop that's gonna go in there. I've modified the factory Fox mounts. I used some hose clamps with some shrink tube on it, so looks nice, doesn't mar up the shock. And then they have these cool little billet clamps, so looks good. Got the wheel well painted, and we're ready to move on to the next side. Greasing up the sway lock sway bar. That looks like a pretty cool image right here. Got everything done, ready to go.